the cell is shrinking in size. So I mean the organ is shrinking in size. So the organ goes from being large. When it is exposed to less stress, it gets smaller, right? To adapt to less stress. For a physiologic example, a physiologic example in the body would be the kidneys. The kidneys are at a certain size, right? Physiologically, they're at a certain size. Now, if for any kind of reason there's a decrease in blood flow to the kidney have the ability to reduce in size. So let's say the blood pressure flowing in is a kind of stress, because it's pressure, right? Blood is flowing in, a certain amount of blood is flowing in with a certain amount of pressure, right? Now there's a decrease in the amount of blood coming in, so there's a decrease in pressure, so there's a kind of like a decrease in stress. The cells within the kidney would react or adapt to that decrease in blood flow by reducing in size. And okay, that's the organ itself will reduce in size, and there's two ways that organ would reduce in size. Either it will reduce in size via a process known as what via a process of reducing the number of cells, or by reducing the size of the cells. That is what we see with atrophy. The other kind of cellular adaptation that we need to know is what we call metaplasia. Metaplasia is a cellular growth adaptation where the cells change types. I explained in the last video that when there's a change in stress in the environment of a cell, the cell will change type to accommodate this new kind of stress. For example, would be Barrett's esophagus. Now, the esophagus generally is not used to an acidic environment. The cells that line the esophagus, which are the stratified squamous epithelium in the esophagus, is not used to the acidity of the stomach. The stomach has columnar cells that are used to the acid that because they have a mucus layer. These columnar cells have mucin within them, and so they can produce mucus that line their walls and can protect them from the high acidity. Now, when somebody has